In the spring of 1985, a killer from Brooklyn burst into the ring, who brought fear and horror to his opponents. He made his way through the entire division of the heavyweights and knocked out everyone, one by one.
He's not looking for the Tyson who won the Gilly match. This is a combination uppercut by Tyson. Tyson laid it on.
The fighter possessed an excellent attack style, elusive speed, and ruthless killer instinct, which has no equal to this day. Iron Mike Tyson.
My mission is to go and destroy and not to let anything get involved. You get punched, you get hurt. I refuse to be hurt, knocked down, and knocked out. I can't lose. I refuse to lose.
Today, we will show you the most effective and brutal knockouts performed by the legendary Iron Mike. December 1990, Mike Tyson versus Alex Stewart. Judging by Tyson's outward mood and aggression, this fight could not last long.
Stated categorically that he knows he needs to keep throwing punches to try to keep Tyson occupied. If he stops throwing, he'll be dead. Tyson lands a right and another.
30-second soundbite. All right, man? Okay, let's go.
A shot to the body, another solid right hand. Stewart begins to throw as a means of trying to defend himself.
A good right hand that hurt Stewart again, but Stewart is still upright. He's up just at the count of 9, Jim. How you feel, man?
Taking a good look at Cappuccino. He's going to let him go.
Iron Mike advances like a bulldozer, giving his opponent no chance. He puts the exact left hook that sends Alex to the ring deck.
Well, Stewart said that Tyson was a mountain he had to climb. He just got knocked off that mountain. He just didn't have the style.
December 1985, Mike Tyson versus
I'm ready to go. Let's just do it.
From the first round, Young tried to attack, behaved actively, but Mike was clearly expecting something like that.
Because this guy's been a little wild. He's going to get caught with something.
After another attack, Mark runs into a response from Tyson, who throws an opponent with a powerful right uppercut, after which no one could rise.
A breeze. That's it. A little phantom. He's gone. It's over. First round.
June 1985, Mike Tyson versus Ricardo Spain. Round 1, an aggressive start from Tyson. He begins to process the enemy core with hard blows.
Tyson, already seen in his brief pro career, hits like a steam hammer.
As soon as Ricardo started the resistance, Mike punches the exact right cross and then the left hook that knocks Ricardo. But he quickly rises and is already ready to continue the battle.
The eyes are the giveaway. Oh, left leg.
Iron Mike again comes without giving a single chance to the enemy. Spain is back on the canvas, and the referee decides to stop the match.
The legs just went every which way. 4 fights, 4 wins for Mike Tyson.
March 1996, Mike Tyson versus Frank Bruno rematch. Round 2. In Bruno's eyes, fear is visible. This fear is accompanied by the actions of the boxer. When Iron Mike starts an attack, Bruno immediately tries to clinch. Even the referee sees this and starts giving warnings to athletes.
Oh, a left hook by Mike Tyson. Flush on the face of Frank Bruno. Another left and a combination.
In the third round, it is noticeably that Tyson was tired of these clinches, and he rushed in before to finish the fight. But Bruno works according to his tactics. Getting a blow from Mike, he begins to hawk the opponent. Once again, the referee warns Frank and asks for a decent fight. In the last minute of the third round, Iron Mike pushes Bruno to the ropes and makes a magnificent combination from which he literally hangs on the ropes, and the referee stops this beating.
Presenting the undisputed, the undefeated heavyweight champion of the world, Iron Tyson.
July 1989. Mike Tyson versus Carl Williams. The start of the fight is very vigorous. Both athletes throw not bad hits, but as soon as Tyson begins to attack, Williams tries to clinch. But the referee quickly bred the fighters. Another attack from Mike, and he throws a quick and very strong left hook that knocks the opponent under the rope. Williams was able to rise, but the confusion in his eyes makes the referee stop the fight, although the boxer strongly disagrees. Another knockout victory from Iron Mike. October 1987. Mike Tyson versus Tyrell Biggs. From the first round, Tyrell began to jump around Tyson, emitting the style of Muhammad Ali. He tries to throw a jab, but almost fails. Mike efficiently shakes the pendulum and constantly squeezes the opponent. Six rounds, Mike dominates without giving any chance to the enemy to inflict any harm on himself. And in round 7, he does what the public adores him and what inspires fear in his opponents. Tyson inflicts the most severe blows and the same fatal left hook that makes the outcome of this fight. Biggs was able to rise, but not for long. Mike immediately rushes to finish off the enemy, knocking him again on the floor of the ring.
10 seconds to go in the round.
The crowd rejoices as the belts remain with the champion. November 1985. Mike Tyson versus Eddie Richardson. The same calm, but at the same time, Tyson's merciless gaze looks at his opponent. Round 1. Mike attacks and immediately overtakes Eddie with a lightning right cross, which immediately knocks him down.
There you see Eddie Richardson. Wow, it just turned his head around on his neck.
The referee counts, but Richardson rises and is ready to continue the fight. This was the beginning of the end of the fight. Iron Mike immediately wants to finish off the enemy by breaking the left hook, from which Eddie is no longer destined to continue this fight. Tyson versus Buster Mathis Jr. The start of the match, and Buster begins to move forward, constantly pushing Tyson to the ropes or to the corner of the ring, but does not take any active action.
That's like the lamb jumping out, pressing Mike, staying inside. We'll see what happens when he gets hit, though.
Riding punches. There's a shot by Mike Tyson with the left. We are through with round one, and Buster Mathis is left. Here comes Tyson now, connecting with the left jab and coming with the right. Tyson misses again with the left.
From the
Now he's
southpaw
looking at the
stand.
left. Then he comes with the right.
Oh, he'll feel every punch tomorrow.
Oh, and there's a nice right uppercut. And then Tyson counters himself. Yard-changing blow.
Mike is still good.
After another clinch in the third round, Mike puts a powerful right hook to the head. Buster Mathis won, almost literally. He clinches and again forces the referee to intervene.
Yeah, trying to get the angle this time. Use that right foot and pivot. Swing around on your opponent's side and clinch.
After it was decided to continue the fight, Buster Mathis pushes Tyson to the ropes and tries to work around the hold. Tyson reiterates his crown combination. He jumps to the side and shoots a powerful right uppercut in the head. Mathis backs off and gets another right after. This time he could not stand on his feet. Buster Mathis tried to rise, but could not do this until the count of 10.
Devastating! Right uppercut, two of them by Mike Tyson, and he is knocked heavyweight champion of the world.
May 1987. Mike Tyson versus Pink Lon Thomas.
Don't throw any punches during the break. Is that understood? Seconds come out fighting.
WBC and WBA titles were at stake right away.
Avoid bending forward. Tyson is just going right through it. Right through the jam, uppercut. Thomas is almost ready to go. He hits it with an uppercut. Thomas is down again.
Approximately half through the sixth round, a real beating begins in the ring. Thomas misses a left hook into the head of monstrous power. Then Mike Tyson inflicts 17 more powerful unrequited blows to the head from both hands. Pink Lon Thomas fell onto the ring floor. The referee gave the score, but Thomas was no longer able to rise to the score of 10. Angelo Dundee ran into the ring to pick up his mentee.
Angelo Dundee says no. The corner cannot stop a championship fight. I think he counted him out. I'm not sure if that's going to be scored as a TKO or a knockout. I think he may have counted him out. We'll have to wait and get the official scoring to hear exactly how it goes. I think
February 1989. Mike Tyson versus Frank Bruno.
shake hands, good luck. Right hand catches Bruno. Left hook. Bruno looks ready to go. Now is when he's going to hang on. And he does. He has the ring sense.
Round 5. Mike does not start attacking the opponent in a slower way. He sees that Bruno is pretty exhausted, and this is his chance to finish the match ahead of schedule.
Attack now to finish him off. Tyson gives him room to come off the ropes. Scores with the uppercut. Lands a big right hand. Bruno's in big trouble now. He's ready to go. He hits him. This is round 5. Remember, a fighter cannot be saved by the bell.
The last minute of the round, and Mike begins to simply destroy the opponent. And after 2 uppercuts at the ropes, the referee decides to intervene and stop the match. So Mike Tyson takes over this fight.
Michael Tyson wins on a 5th round TKO.
November 1986. Mike Tyson versus Trevor Berbick. The long-awaited fight for the world title.
The Mills lane, we're ready. I don't know about you folks, but here at the Hilton Hotel, there is heat, but this is a pro fight plan. Oh, the right hand gets him. And Mike is shooting. Oh, the right hand. With the left hook right there. Notice Tyson throws him.
It would not be just a fight. It was the total destruction of Berbick. At the end of the first round, Mike struck a great combination with both hands. Berbick loses his balance and miraculously remains on his feet. and only the gong saves him from knockout in the first round.
Round one for Mike Tyson.
The beginning of the second round, and Iron Mike wants to finish what he started.
Perfect at Mike Tyson. Tyson goes to work right away, and he gets further in trouble, and he's down. He'll have to take the stage. Right side of the ring cage. Instead he goes to the body downstairs, catches him with the right hand upstairs. Mike Tyson on his way to becoming one of the youngest heavyweight champions of all time. Bangs the body. Wow, that uppercut is Tyson. Catches him with the right left hook, and he was down.
Berbick's attempt to rise did not lead to anything. The fight is over. This is a knockout.
As a knockout. Mills Lane counted him out to 10. It's all over. We've got a brand new heavyweight champion of the world, Mike Tyson.
October 1985. Mike Tyson versus Robert Collet. From the very beginning of the fight, Collet tries to keep Tyson at a distance with a long jab, but taking advantage of the overwhelming advantage in speed, Mike leaves his opponent no chance. In the first minute of the first round, Mike throws a left hook and knocks down an opponent. It's a knockout. July 1986, Mike Tyson versus Lorenzo Boyd. From the first round, it was noticeable that Lorenzo was afraid of Tyson. And in the second round, Tyson throws his crown right body head. Lorenzo falls on the floor of the ring. It's a knockout.
Right hand to the body and the chin. Down goes Lorenzo Boyd. The count is 5. The count is 6. The count is 8. He will not get up. It's over.
Sam, show me what heavyweight throws punches backwards. Those were 2 right hands. What's the body head?
January 1999. Mike Tyson versus Franz Botha. In the second half of the 5th round, both athletes are not at a bad exchange of blows and try not to give way to each other. Franz feels very confident, but Tyson knocks out all of his confidence with his right cross and brings him down on the base. Botha tries to rise, but these attempts lead to nothing. The referee stops the fight, and Tyson wins again by knockout. September 1985. Mike Tyson versus Michael Johnson.
He does sound like it.
Scheduled 6, but hold on to your hats. Nobody thinks it's going to go that far. Well, there he goes. He's just going to pull his way in.
Iron Mike starts the fight very aggressively. From the first seconds, he throws the opponent a heavy blow and strong left hook in the liver, poisoning the opponent to knockdown.
Down he goes. The left hook. Just buried him, dug him in the ribs.
Johnson is not enough. He's ready to continue the fight, but this fight is not destined to last long.
23-pound weight advantage, and he put it all there. The right to the head, and it's all over.
Tyson inflicts a powerful cross, after which Michael will definitely not get up.
He did not have a strong Tyson. Just attacked Michael Jack Johnson. A big smile. But he didn't even break a sweat. He may have to run around on the boardwalk a little bit.
June 1986. Mike Tyson versus Reggie Gross. From the very beginning of the fight, it was obvious that Reggie Gross was afraid of Tyson. At one point, Reggie suddenly exploded and held a 15-strike combination, but Mike Tyson waited for the right moment in a hail of blows, hit his crown blow from the left hook, and sent Gross to the ring floor. The audience roars with delight.
What? Come on, bro. You can't even walk. You worrying about fighting? Come on.
June 1988. Mike Tyson versus Michael Spinks. Fight for the absolute world champion.
See that Michael Spinks is a little tight. His legs are not as loose as they normally have been in the past.
The start of the fight, Mike, in his manner, begins to attack the opponent. He, as always, tries to end the fight ahead of schedule by delivering heavy blows to the opponent.
Keep those hands high.
Stepping in. Work again. Tyson out of frame, as we expected, and Spinks ready to mix it up with him. Tyson along the ropes doing damage.
Spinks receives a heavy blow to the body, which knocks him down, but is not ready to give up so easily, and he is ready to continue the fight.
Has ever been down in a professional fight.
And he's down again.
A few seconds, and this is a knockout. Mike Tyson became an absolute world heavyweight champion.
Now we know why Brooks Lewis wasn't anxious for Michael Spinks to fight Mike Tyson in the Unification Series. What happened in that round was a punch.
July 1986. Mike Tyson versus Marvis Frazier.
His father's legacy.
With wins, as we saw earlier, over the likes of Quick Tillis and Bone Crusher Smith, he can fight.
System, supplemental 4-point scoring system if the rounds wind up even.
In the first round, Mike presses his opponent to the ropes and carries out 3 unrequited blows. Moving away from the ropes, Marvis makes a fatal mistake and goes into a corner. And here, Mike Tyson holds one of his most spectacular combinations.
Uppercut, and Marvis is hurt.
Frazier is down. Joe Cortez moves in to have a look. And he's going to stop the fight.
Frazier just hangs near the ropes. This is the end. A knockout victory.
Frazier obviously quite concerned. A terrific uppercut. The same punch with which Tyson knocked out Jesse Ferguson the first time you saw him here on ABC Sports.
Watch the uppercut, the right uppercut. Give me first your reaction to the fight.